Chapter 1. The Boy Who Lost All His Riches.
Long ago, in a village, a boy was born into a rich family. His name was Diva. From his childhood, he was very kind and would share his riches with the needy. Time went by and he got married and had sons. With no thoughts for the future, both Diva and his wife continued to share with the needy. No one ever went away from their home empty-handed. Ultimately, with time, Diva ran out of money and he didn't even have enough to feed his family. Sometimes he and his family had to go without food for days. One day, Diva managed to get some rice, wheat, sugar, and ghee. In the evening, when they cooked food and sat down to eat, the whole family thanked God for giving them food. Just then, a holy man knocked at their door. Diva received the guest by bowing and welcomed him into his home and served him food. Holy man went satisfied. Half of the food was still left for Diva and his family. All of them again sat down to eat. Just then, a hungry farmer came looking for food. Diva welcomed him as well and offered him a seat and served him food. The farmer enjoyed the meal and then, thanking him, left. There was still some food left for the family. The family decided to share whatever they had remaining food with them and again sat down to eat. Just then, a traveler appeared at Diva's door and begged for food for himself and his dogs. Diva welcomed him and whatever was left, Diva offered to the guests. The traveler and his dog were happy to have food. Diva was happy to have food. Diva was happy to see hungry dogs cleaning up their vessels. When the traveler left, there was no food left for the family. Still, Diva smiled and said, "God is kind. We have some water left." Just then, he heard someone crying and saying, "I am dying of thirst. Will a kind soul give me some water?" Diva quickly took that water out to the street and gave it to that poor man. The man gulped the water down. Diva was happy to help. As he was leaving to go back to his house, the poor man revealed himself as God, Lord of creation. He said to Diva, "Diva, Deva, gods came down on earth to test you, and we all are pleased with your spirit of sacrifice. We will be happy to grant you any boon you ask for." Diva bowed to God and said, "May I always be able to share whatever I have with me with my fellow men." God blessed Diva and restored his wealth. From that day, Diva and his family never went hungry and continued to help those in need.
Chapter 2. Heart-touching Father, Son Story. A young boy used to live with his father alone. He loved playing football, and his father always encouraged him. His father never missed a game. Even though his son would always be on the bench, his father would always be there in the stands cheering for him. When a young man entered high school, he was very determined about playing football, and despite being a bench warmer for all 4 years, he never missed even a single practice or game. When the young man went to college, he decided to try out for the football team as a walk-on. Everyone was sure that he wouldn't make the cut, but he did. And the coach decided to keep him on roster because he always puts his heart and soul into every practice and at the same time provided the other members with the spirit and hustle they badly needed. He was so thrilled with the news that he rushed to the nearest phone and shared this excitement with his father and told him that he had sent him season tickets for all college games. The young boy was persistent, and even in college, he never missed a practice, but still never got to play in the game. It was the end of his senior football season, and he was on the field for practice before the big playoff game. Just then, he received a telegram. After reading the telegram, young boy became silent and mumbled to the coach, "My father died this morning. Will it be all right if I miss today's practice?" Coach gently consoled him and said, "Take the rest of the week off, and you don't even have to come back for the game on Saturday." And the young man left. Saturday arrived. The game was not going well, and in the third quarter, team was 10 points behind. The young boy silently came to the locker room and put on his football gear. As he ran onto the sidelines, the coach and his players were astounded to see their faithful teammate back so soon. The young boy went to the coach and said, "Coach, please let me play today. I have to play today." The coach pretended not to listen to him as he didn't want to take risks in the playoff game, but the young man persisted, and at last coach agreed and said, "All right, you can go in." When young boy started playing opposing, team couldn't stop him, and he played like a star and his team began to triumph. Before long, everyone who knew him couldn't believe their eyes as he had never played in any game before. In closing seconds of the game, the young boy ran all the way for the winning touchdown. His team won the game and his teammates hoisted him onto his shoulders. After all, concluding ceremony was done. Everyone left. Just when the coach was leaving, he saw that young man was sitting quietly in the corner all alone. The coach went to him and said, "Congratulations, kid, you did great today. You were fantastic." Coach continued and asked him, "You never played in any game before. Tell me, how did you do it?" Young boy with tears in his eyes replied, "Well, you knew my dad died, but did you know that he was blind? Still, my dad came to all my games, but today was the first time he could see me play, and I wanted to show him I could do it."